Frampton Fight Diary, Josh Warrington trying to hide his arrogance. My camp nowadays is a mixture of high-tech and old-school methods. We probably lean more towards new age type of training. We've teamed up new nutritionists and strength and conditioning coaches. I train at the Manchester Institute of Health and Performance twice a week now. They run a lot of tests, pre- and post-camp, and in the middle of it as well, obviously. We can check where I'm at in terms of body fat, muscle mass and fitness. It's a smarter approach than any kind of training I've done before. We use the altitude chamber a lot too. I think it's definitely benefiting me. I'm reaping the rewards right now. I'm pretty much their science project at the moment. They've had boxers in before, but I've stuck it out. Trial and error is the wrong thing to say, because these guys are clued in and know what makes a better athlete. It's definitely helped me up my game. Gym, VIP Gym, Manchester coach, Jamie Moore nutritionist, Marcus Hannon, works with Everton FC, strength and conditioning, Simon Bidcon, works with Man City. I've noticed massive changes. You'd expect me to say that I know, every fighter says every camp has been the best ever. But honestly, I feel my recovery has improved massively. That's come from the altitude chamber. Working hard in the gym, in between rounds my heart rate comes back down a lot quicker, and a lot lower than my previous camps. We have the altitude up high, around 2,500 meters. There's not a lot of oxygen in the chamber. It's hot as well. We put the humidity level up too, so we can get used to training at high temperatures. When you're fighting under the lights at the Manchester Arena, it's pretty hot. You walk into it, and it doesn't really take your breath away initially, but as soon as you start training you feel it. Start of camp testing today at @me_UK. Leaner, stronger and fitter than I was at the beginning of my last camp, which means two things. 1. If you thought or were hoping I was on the slide, you are wrong. 2. Every featherweight on the planet better watch out. Warrington Frampton. A post shared by Carl Frampton, at Frampton, on October 2, 2018 at 10:22 a.m. PDT. It's hard to recover while you're in there. When you work hard your heart rate comes up quite dramatically. But it helps to produce more red blood cells which support the oxygen throughout your body, and that's why when we come back down sea level, recovery improves massively. It's tough work, but so beneficial. To be honest, I never really have bad days anymore. I listen to my body and I train accordingly. If I'm feeling rough in the morning, tired or lethargic, I'll maybe do an easier session. Jamie Moore, he's switched on. He's a real advocate of me listening to my body when I'm not feeling too good. We've not changed much this camp, me and Jamie have kept it the same. But in terms of what I did with my former team and what I do now with Jamie, it's more of a scientific approach. It is mixed with hard graft as well. We train at the top of the range facility at the MIP, but our boxing gym where we train 3 times a week is real spit and sawdust. It brings you back down a peg or two, and that's what I like. It feels like you're keeping it real. Monday, morning, 6-round spar plus 4-round pads. Afternoon, swim 30 lengths and 25 meters pool. Tuesday at me, 7:30 am, weight session with Simon Bidcon, explosiveness, power and movement, 11 am, altitude chamber session. Wednesday, morning, 12-round spar with 2 fighters. Afternoon, rest. Thursday, technical day on pads. Friday at me, 7:30 am, weight session. 11 am, altitude chamber session and cryotherapy, ice baths and hot baths. Sparring is always the most important, in any week. It's about practicing what you've been doing on the pads, and the game plan you think will win the fight. It's getting closer to the fight now, so I'm starting to bring my weight down. I'm always pretty on it with my diet. I'm strict with myself. My nutritionist Marcus Hannon and I have teamed up with a food prep company, Fuel Station. Sparring is important, but at this point I need to be really switched on with my diet as well. The young gun's pushing me hard. Warrington Frampton. A post shared by Carl Frampton, at Frampton, On December 5, 2018 at 5:48 a.m. PST, there's a wee bit of arrogance there with Josh Warrington. He's getting carried away. He won a world title and well done, but he thinks he's a bit of a big shot now. My opinion of him is he's not a bad guy, but there's an arrogance there that he's really trying to keep in and hold back. But it's starting to creep out. It doesn't really matter what he or I say, it's about the fight and what happens on the night. I know that if I perform to my best, then my best is better than Josh Warrington's, and I win the fight. More, Tyson Fury rivals Muhammad Ali as the greatest comeback king in heavyweight history. I always go home every weekend. I enjoy going home, I'm a family man. I want to be around my kids and my wife. It's beneficial, mentally, for me. You wait around in the airport a bit more, but it's a 45-minute flight. I always do a session at the weekend, maybe a long jog or a swim. But it's massively good for me to switch off and try and forget about boxing for a while.